Shalom, guys. It's your brother Hasadai here with Young Activists. And today we're talking about Black love is revolutionary. That's right, I said it. Black love is revolutionary. And let me give a disclaimer before we get started. When I say black, that means like whether you be black and from the US, whether you be from black and from Haiti, whether you be black and from the Caribbean, whether you be Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Venezuelan, Argentinian, Salvadorian, whether you be Cherokee, Apache, Blackfoot, Sioux, I don't know, Seminole, you are black. Hate to break it to you, you're black. Okay. So when I talk about black love, I'm talking about you guys too, black, Hispanic, and Native American. And so again, topic is Black love is revolutionary. The importance of loving ourselves, black men loving black women loving black men, loving black children, loving our brothers and sisters. Super important. So when we look at it, I remember growing up, I used to watch The Cosby Show a lot. And The Cosby Show was dope. The Cosby Show was this man who was a doctor, and he was married to this black woman who was a lawyer. Black man as a doctor, black woman who's a lawyer. They're married. They've been married for a long time. And so not only are they married, they have a bunch of kids, and these kids are being raised in a two-parent home, a nice home, and they're being taught valuable lessons on how they need to conduct themselves and how they can grow up to become doctors and lawyers and all different things that they want to be. So that's the importance of like a good black family image. And a lot of times, and we don't see that today anymore on TV. I don't know any television shows that promote the black family unit. I know they got Basketball Wives. I know they got Love and Hip Hop, but I don't see any like shows that promote black family. If you guys know some shows that promote like the black family unit, y'all should definitely let me know. There's this quote that I remember, and it's we'll never be respected as a people until we respect our women. So a lot of the times, especially in like hip hop music, and even just if you talk to young brothers nowadays, they don't respect black women. They talk down and degrade black women, but they'll lift up like white women, Asian women, Arab women, any woman, Ethiopian women, women that are not black or Hispanic. And then even within like the African American community, a lot of young brothers will lift up Hispanic women but hate on black women and be like, you're too dark, your hair's too nappy. The rude part is they'll be dark as midnight and have like the nappiest hair going. So that's something we need to fix in our community, is loving one another. And so when we look at it biblically, in the book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12, it says, beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribes. We are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren. So to love your people is to marry a woman from your nation. And you see it, you'll see it in the Indian community. Like East Indian people marry East Indian people. You'll see it in the Korean community, the Chinese, the Japanese community. You'll see it when you go to Europe. Europeans marry Europeans. Canadians marry Canadians. But for some reason, black people love to marry people that aren't black. And we like despise our own kind. And it really goes back into slavery. When you look at slavery, they would take the family unit and they would split it up. So they would take the man and they would send him off, whether you be in a plantation in Virginia, they'll take the man and send him to Georgia and keep the woman there. And so now you have the woman, she's raising her kids by herself, no man around, while this man has to go off and start another family, and they just kept moving us around and breeding us. And so that's like leaked into our subconscious that we do it to this day. So instead of like in the 50s, and the 60s, we had strong family units. But that crept away due to like welfare, crack being pushed into the black community. And so now we look at our communities, the mom and the dad are no longer together. They don't even like think to get married. And I was looking up some statistics. And so this was from a study in 2016 done by R. Kelly Raleigh. No, not that R. Kelly. This is a professor from the University of Texas. And Megan M. Sweeney and Danielle Wandra. And those are two professors from the University of California. And so it basically said Black women from the ages of 20 to 24 got divorced at a rate of 40.13%. And Black women from the ages of 25 to 29 got divorced at a rate of 44.29%. So that's nearly 50% of Black women in their 20s getting divorced. Okay. While Indigenous women, the number for Indigenous women is even higher, 63.61% from Indigenous women ages 20 to 24, and 52.02% for Indigenous women 25 to 29. So that's it. So it's not even just in the African American community, it's in the Native community too. They get divorced at incredibly high rates. And you got to wonder why this is. Why isn't marriage in the community being pushed extra hard in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community? Because when you look at like the 40s and the 50s for America, they had this thing called the nuclear household. And so the nuclear household was the husband, the wife, and 2.5 kids. I don't know where you get that half a kid from, but that was the thing that pushed America to become a superpower, is having the wife and the husband and the wife on the same mind in the home working together. And, you know, that's scriptural. You know, God talks about that being one of his favorite things. When you look at the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach chapter 25 and verse 1, it says, "In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful, both before God and men, the unity of brethren." So that's, you know, the black men, Hispanic men, Indigenous men sticking together, us working together, us building up our communities, us going into business together and building up our business and our infrastructure. The love of neighbors, loving your neighbor and not letting them get killed. And then if you see them get killed, you got to speak up about it. It'd be crazy how the police kill us and we don't want to say nothing. We just sit there and watch, and we be on our phone. Or you'll see like a white man hit a Black woman, and you know you don't do nothing about it. You just sitting there recording it and put it on World Star. A man and a wife that agree together. So when a man and a wife agree together, that means they're on unity. They're on the same accord. Plus, when you look at it, you see a lot of athletes and musicians in the Black community. They'll get big, and what they'll do is they'll leave the Black woman or the Hispanic woman they were with that got them to that position, and they'll go and get them a white woman or an Asian woman. And like Kanye got a line, when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. He did it himself. That's a true story. So when you look at it, marriage is an economic move. So when you die, all the money you made, that's going to go to your white wife. And she's going to take that and put it back into her community. So now you're not showing your people love, because all the money you made, all the career moves you did, all that goes into the white community or the Asian community or the Arab community when you marry outside of your nation. So now you did all of that work just to build up white supremacy some more. But when you marry a Black woman or a Hispanic woman or an Indigenous woman, now all that money that you made, it goes to your wife. And your wife is going to put that back into the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. So now we all in it together. We building up together. That's that unity between a husband and a wife. You know, and the Bible, it speaks about it some more in Sirach chapter 26 and verse 19. "My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers." So don't be quick to give your money to white supremacy, to America, because they don't really care about you like that. I know me personally, I don't think I could be married to somebody who doesn't share the same struggle as me. I couldn't be married to a woman whose people weren't enslaved, who didn't have their land taken away, who weren't hung and raped. You got that like disconnect. Then you got to explain when like a young Black man gets shot in the street. You got to explain to your wife why you feel the way you do. You don't have to. If you're in that same situation with a Black woman, you don't have to explain it to her. She gonna already know. Y'all are on the same page with it. Verse 20, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. You look at like in old Europe, they had the old European families. You couldn't just marry, royalty didn't just marry any old people. Royalty went with royalty. Why don't we do the same thing today? Because we don't value ourselves. We don't think of ourselves as super important. We'd rather do what Master's doing. We want Master's wife. We want to drink Master's water and live in Master's house. Instead of building up our own community, understanding that we're royalty, that our men are princes and our men are kings and our women are princesses. We got to understand that we are royalty. We have a royal mindset and love one another. Now, don't be quick to want to marry Becky Ann or Sue. Stay with your woman and don't leave her hanging, so that your kids can grow up and see a black man and a black woman loving one another, and they're gonna repeat that cycle. Train up a child in the way that they should go. So that is why Black love is revolutionary. When you have Black love, you got a black man who loves a black woman, they have black kids, and the cycle continues and continues. This is how a community is built. Once you have built a community, then you can build on top of that and build a nation. All of that goes hand in hand. I got some angry emojis. That's hilarious. Y'all angry because black men want to love black women? That's super weird. Why would that make you angry? Would it make you angry for a white man to say, I love white women? Would it make you angry for an Asian man to say, I love Asian women? You gotta think about it. All right. But I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure you go like and share the video. Subscribe to the YouTube page. You can follow us on Instagram at Young Activists, or follow us on Twitter at ElijahJudah144. You can follow me on Twitter at Hasadai8. And remember, many are called, but few are chosen. Have a great day. YouTube. Oh, man. Protect Black women, 2K19. Love black men, 2K19.